to your Rise and Shine yoga practice. Today's yoga practice is focused on yoga for stabilization. This practice is going to be a deep heating practice for stabilizing the core and stabilizing the body by creating a foundation for growth and change. We'll begin today's postures seated in Sukhasana or easy pose, with one foot crossed in front of the other. We're going to start with some deep 3-part breaths, focusing on the inhalation and even balance between the inhalation and the exhalation. So I invite you to place your hands palm first up on the back of your legs, gently closing the eyes and sitting up nice and tall, feeling the connections of the sit bones on the earth, and just grounding in and checking in with where you are to start off with today. Taking a nice deep inhalation in through the nose, a deep exhalation out through the pursed lips. And just beginning to ask yourself, what is it you're hoping to expand into with this practice? Not judging, but just taking an awareness of where your starting point is today. And noticing even if this question is bringing up something for you, seeing if you can start to connect with the breath. Start to invite in a deeper connection of the breath, feeling the breath expanding deep into the belly. So using this self-inquiry to just begin to know where it is we are so that we can know where it is we are going. Beautiful. Okay, with the eyes still closed, taking one more inhalation deep in through the nose, seeing if you can follow the breath as it sips in through the nose, feeling it warming up the back of the throat, as it comes down into the chest, as it warms up the heart, fills into the back of the kidneys, and then grounds down into the sit bones. And then on the opposite end, seeing if you can follow, when you get to your exhalation, follow the exhalation as it moves from the base of the spine, up through the back of the kidneys, into the heart, into the shoulders, and back out the nostrils. Let's follow that breath again. Inhaling in through the nose, filling up the chest, heart, kidneys, grounding into the sit bones, and on the exhalation, opposite, exhaling out the kidneys, heart, and out of the nostrils. One more time, following the breath in from the top of the tube, the pranic tube, the energy tube in the body, inhaling in through the nostrils, filling up the chest, filling up the heart, filling up the back of the kidneys where we process our emotions and toxins in the body, grounding into the sit bones, and this time exhaling out the bottom of the base of the spine, grounding into the earth, and making this connection with your roots, or what we would call your root energy point in the body. And seeing if even you might be able to visualize your roots extending all the way into the center of the earth, through the surface that you're sitting in, and releasing anything that is serving you from being in this moment. And giving yourself permission in this moment to just release that and let it go, bringing your awareness back into your body, drawing that energy back up through the base of the roots of your tree, back into the base of where you're sitting, into your kidneys, heart, and then back up into the nostrils. Beautiful. Just noticing if you're feeling annoyed that we're starting in the stillness, and just seeing if we can let that go. Coming back to the now, the present moment. Beautiful. Gently opening up the eyes. Fantastic. I'm inviting you now to place your hands in front of your heart, pressing equal force between both hands. And reaching down, I would like you to press into the hip bones, extend out the middle of the back of the neck, and inhale and lift the arms up above the head. Exhale, sweeping the arms out to the side. Have the body inhaling back through the center. Spreading out your wings. The wings of the goddess Nut, you can even think of, inhaling out the top of the head, and exhale, opening up, spreading out through the fingertips, connecting in with the breath, starting to link this breath and the movement together. Beautiful. Exhaling the left elbow down, extending into the left hip. And if you can, lifting the left hip bone slightly up off of the floor if you need to, and then placing the right elbow on the floor, inhaling the right arm up into the air. Taking 3 breaths into the side body, inhaling and exhaling here. Let's see if we can coordinate the breath and movement. Inhale, washing the hand up and over. Exhaling it in front of the body. Inhale, sweeping that hand up. Exhaling it down and around. And inhaling the right hand back up into the air. And exhaling it back down and around. Pressing into the left knee, lifting yourself gently up, back to neutral, back to center, and then reaching down, pressing the right elbow towards the floor. And if you're finding it hard to find this connection with the elbow, I invite you, if you have a book, you might want to grab a book, because we will be actually using it during the practice today for some other things as well. You could place a book or a block underneath your elbow so that you have raising the floor up towards you. And then seeing if you can press into your left hip bone, your left thigh, allowing it to move down towards the ground, and then inhaling that left arm up into the air. Taking 1 inhalation and exhalation here, pressing that right hand into the ground, and then sweeping, coordinating breath and movement, inhaling, sweeping the arm up, perhaps keeping your gaze focused on your left thumb, exhaling the arm down and around. Inhaling the arm up, and exhaling the arm down and around. Beautiful. Releasing by pressing into, this time, the right knee, pushing yourself back up, or right thigh actually, pushing yourself back up, and feeling that elongation, gently closing the eyes and feeling how the spine has become elongated on both sides, creating more space for the breathing room in the body. Beautiful. So inhaling the right arm up into the air. We're going to reach over, grab a hold of the right knee, and then exhale, looking behind, exhaling behind us, and then inhaling the right arm up into the air, placing it down behind the spine on the exhale, lifting the left arm up, placing it on the right knee, and then looking behind you on the exhale. Beautiful. And again, inhale the left arm up, coming back to neutral with the spine, exhaling the left hand behind you, inhaling the right arm up, and exhaling right hand to left knee, looking behind you. Inhale, right arm up, coordinating this movement of the breath, exhaling the right hand behind the spine, exhaling the left hand back up, left hand comes to right thigh or knee, looking behind you on the right inhale. Exhaling back to center, left hand comes up. Inhale, left arm down. Exhaling, right arm up. Exhaling, left hand, and looking behind you. And then seeing if you can just move through this movement in what feels like a natural one breath, one movement. So inhale up, back to center, exhale. Inhale, left hand up. Exhale, looking behind you. Inhale, left arm up. Exhale, back to center. Inhale, right arm up. Exhale, left, looking behind you. Beautiful. Releasing the head and the neck back to the center. Beginning to move through some Suki grinds, thinking about moving the energy through the center of the body, starting with this little tiny point in the belly button, beginning to move as if you are just making the size of just a tiny quarter, moving around the base of the spine with the belly button. So on the exhalation, drawing the spine forward, inhaling back, or you could play with inhaling forward to breathe into the chest and exhaling back. Belly button to spine, inhale forward, starting small to begin with, exhale back, perhaps bringing the chin up towards the sky, and experiment with bringing the chin back towards the chest. Inhale, belly button back, exhale up, inhale, belly button back in one direction, and exhaling up. And then if that's feeling good, you're feeling like you're having some mobility in the spine, feel free to just move around the spine in what way feels natural for you. That's the beauty of the at-home practice. You might even just experiment with keeping the chin parallel to the ground here. But most important, keeping that connection to the breath and the movement. Nice and strong in the breath. Pulling up on the pelvic floor if you're familiar with that pelvic engagement, pelvic floor engagement. Thinking of moving through the spine, creating mobility in a snake-like movement through the spine. And why we're doing this is energy moves through the spine in this way, the way a double helix or the DNA strands move up like this. Also, energy moves through the right side and the left side, the Ida and the Pingala channels of the body in a more advanced Kundalini Tantra sense, moving through the energetic body up the spine, up towards the base of the brain, or actually up into the pineal centers, the energy centers of the brain. Okay, exhaling, releasing and letting that go, checking in and feeling if you can identify closing the eyes and checking the sensation from the inside out. Can you feel any expansion? Do you feel any buzzing? Just beginning to identify what and how the energy feels in the body, what and how the energy feels when we begin to coordinate the breath and the movement. And then opening the eyes. We're going to switch in the other direction. So moving around from also tiny little movements through the center of the spine first, through the belly button first, exhaling back, inhaling forward, exhale back. This is so good for the digestive organs. So actually, the smaller that you start, the more that you're really going to get in there and begin to massage the abdomen, massage the colon, the small and large intestine, really beginning to create some spaciousness with the breath. Grounding and rooting into the core of the body through the center of the chest by inhaling the chest forward, exhaling back. You might experiment with moving a little bit faster. If you're feeling pretty fluid through your spine, you might even really begin to move wider in your girth around the spine, drawing the elbows in towards the side. You might experiment like this, or you might even press the arms out in the opposite direction so that they're making 90-degree angles, the elbows coming out towards the side. Inhaling and beginning to move this energy around the body. These are really basic movements in dance and basic movements in energy. And even if you're familiar at all with the Kathleen Denham technique, this is the flexion, the extension of the spines, and a lot of base of indigenous movements and African-based movements. So inhaling in through the nose, exhaling out through the mouth, especially if you're finding any areas where it feels like a little bit of a pinching in the sides, or if you're feeling like you really need to release, just inhaling and exhaling out. Beautiful, letting that go. So we're going to come into more direct connection with the knees placed underneath the body. We're going to roll through the spine from the side. So inhaling into what is known as the lion's breath. So we'll inhale in, inhaling the chin and chest up. And then you're going to exhale, expanding down the spine all the way down. Exhaling, breathing out the mouth. The chin and chest is the last thing to come down towards the floor. And even you hear how my breath is pinched, my voice is pinched on the bottom as my chin comes back in towards the chest. And then pulling up on the pelvic floor, inhaling, pushing up, the hands on the thighs, rolling through the spine all the way back up. Okay, and then when you get to the top, we're going to experiment with what is known as the lion's breath the next time you come down. Or so you're thinking about crossing the eyes if that's comfortable for you. It's really good for any tension in the eyes, tension in the mouth, the jaw, the face. So that also can tend to clog up the movement of energy or our connection deeper with our core, with our desires, with our root. So we are going to extend the tongue forward, crossing the eyes, and making your beastly lion face as you move forward. Okay, so inhale, rolling up through the spine, and exhale, extending the chest forward, releasing the tongue out, and just letting out a large roar of any frustration or things that are getting in your way. Using the ferocity of the breath and the release to let go, really from the base of the spine all the way up, thinking about the belly drawing back towards the spine, inhaling and looking silly and ridiculous. It doesn't matter. You're just at home, or maybe your children are laughing at you if you're doing this. That's even more fantastic to invite in that playfulness. So inhaling the chin and chest up, and exhaling, releasing forward. Inhale, rolling up the spine. One more, releasing forward. Rolling up the spine, pulling up on the pelvic floor, and then just getting a sense of the energy body from within, out first. Beautiful. So while we're here, we're going to place the left knee up, and we'll push onto the left side of the thigh. And exhale so that you're thinking about kind of compressing the core, compressing the abdomen back. And you could even place the right hand on, you might expel some air, belching. That's all good signs that you're doing it correctly. So inhale, exhaling, placing the right hand on the left thigh and actually looking behind you if that's comfortable for your body, as you know yourself better than I do. And then exhale, releasing the right knee down, inhaling the left knee down, right leg up. I'm dyslexic sometimes, so please excuse me. And exhaling the left leg over. It's a sign of great creativity. And looking over the right shoulder. So always trust yourself on whatever side your body's on. Beautiful. And using that compression as you push this right thigh into the left thigh. You might even find if you have any hip issues, this is really great for stabilizing the hip joints. Great. We'll do it again on the other side. So inhale the right knee up. We're going to exhale, pressing on the left side of the outer thigh. You might even use that lion's breath on the exhale, and then inhaling, left knee down. Exhale, left leg, right leg up, and then pressing on the right side of the outer thigh, looking behind you. Beautiful. Okay, letting that go. We're going to move into our Nuit, our mother sky pose. Inhale, pressing up, also known as cat pose. Closed expression through the spine, looking belly button back towards spine. And inhale, flexion, Father Earth, the chin comes up towards the sky. Exhale, tucking the tailbone under, Mother Newt. And exhale, extending the tailbone back. Father Earth. Beautiful. Exhaling and inhaling. You might even employ the lion's breath here. The tongue out. Quickly moving through the spine, engaging and activating the core here. Seeing if you can really feel into each of the muscles in the lower abdomen as the belly button comes back towards the spine. Just waking up gently those abdominal muscles. Beautiful. And when you're ready, walking the feet forward, we're going to come into a laying position on the floor. And what you will need here is, if you do have your block or book handy, you are going to place this block between your legs. So you could think about it the hot dog style, the long way, or the thick way, for like the hamburger. You want to think about that as the hamburger side. So placing the hamburger style between your legs, so that you have that thinner girth there. And then you want to inhale the legs up and exhale, gently moving the legs down, pressing the lower back into the floor. Very, 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 very slowly here. So inhaling the legs all the way back up. First, I want you to flex through your feet here. Press your lower back into the ground. So you might even walk your right hip forward, walk your left foot forward, hip forward, left foot comes up higher, right foot comes up higher, flattening the lower back into the floor, okay? I want you to press with your elbows into the floor. So you stabilize your upper body, and then your elbows, once they're pressed into the ground, pressing the palms of the hands into the ground. So you have this nice firm base from the top of the spine, the head, the neck. Everything is engaged with the floor all the way down the middle, lower back into the floor. Beautiful. Take a nice deep inhalation here. Most importantly here, when coming into any type of core work, is the connection with the breath. So we're just going to take 3 nice deep 3-part inhalations here. So breathing into the belly, filling up above the belly, filling all the way up into the chest. You can feel this engagement of the lungs really well here on the floor, and then exhaling out the top, the middle, and the lower belly. Okay, beautiful. One more. Inhaling deep into below the belly, above the belly, filling all the way up into the armpits. And then on the exhale, releasing top, middle, and lower, all the way down. Squeezing the block here, keeping that engagement, keeping active through the feet. Imagining that you're pressing up into a wall, into the wall, that your feet are so active. Your toes are spread wide and far apart. And then inhaling deep into the nose, mid, bottom, middle, and upper chest. And on the exhale, this time I want you to gently engage, lowering the feet down 1 inch, 2 inches, 3 inches, just until where you notice the lower back starts to come off of the floor because you're pressing. That's as far as you need to go. And then exhaling the legs back up. You can exhale out the mouth here. Okay, so inhaling the legs down. just as far as you go until the back starts to lift up. That's your point that lets you know that's your engagement. That is as low as you can go, and inhale the legs back up. So how low can you go? So exhale, this is as low as you're gonna go. Just exhale your legs down, till that belly button's still on the floor, beginning to feel the shake is an amazing, good bit of biofeedback. Inhaling up and exhaling back down. We're going to do this 5 more times. Inhaling up, squeezing that Booker block, and exhaling down. Fierce breath, that ferocity of that lion's breath. Inhaling in through the nose, exhaling out the nose. Beautiful. 3 more. Inhaling up, exhaling out the nose, inhaling up 2. Beautiful. The shaking is real. Inhaling down and back up. Woo, beautiful. Bend your knees. Release that block from between your legs and grab a hold of your knees, rocking back and forth from the right side to the left side, the right side to the left side of the spine. Beautiful. I'm feeling sore from everyday workouts, so I'm super feeling that. I don't know about you. So coming back into a dead bug pose or a happy baby, happy lady pose. The feet came up into the air. Opening the knees wide, grabbing a hold of the outside of the feet, and just seeing if you can even feel the engagement through the thighs that we just had. See if you can, how quickly can you release it with that 3-part breath? Beautiful. As the belly button comes back towards the spine, inhaling, releasing all the way down the spine, pressing the spine into the floor. Beautiful. Releasing that and letting it go. Okay, this time without the book, we're going to do that same type of engagement that we had before, placing elbows first, then palms facing all the way up. You can place either palms up, or you'll have more support with the palms facing down towards the ground. And I want you to think about inhaling into the right foot, and then on the exhale, allowing the right foot pressing out as far as you can, feeling that engagement of the energetic line through the body. Exhaling the right foot down until it comes a few inches off the floor. Do not let it touch. Inhale here. And exhale here, belly button back towards the spine. And then inhaling the right leg back up towards the sky. Beautiful. And this time exhaling the left leg down till it almost touches the floor. Both feet are active as if pressing into a wall. Exhaling the foot all the way down. Ooh, but not all the way, a few inches off the floor. And then inhaling that left leg back up into the air. Beautiful. Exhaling the right foot all the way down. Press, press, press into the heel. Let that right foot hover. Inhaling back up to a 90-degree angle, and then opposite leg down and then back up. Now, seeing the slower that you go is actually be more difficult, as opposed to this yogic core work. Exhaling down, and then the engagement on the inhale is using the coordination of the awareness of the breath, the stabilization of the core with the engagement of the awareness in the breath. So often when you're doing different types of ab work, that 6-pack or whatever it is at the gym or on your own, a lot of times it's just this wild, like, let me get this over with as fast as possible. Here, we are using the awareness as we inhale up, press up, and exhale back down. This time when the right foot comes down, I encourage you to inhale and exhale here. One breath, one movement on the exhale. And then on the exhale, engage the right foot back up into the air. Okay, and then exhaling the left foot down. Engage through the inhale and exhale. And then on the inhale, leg comes back up, left leg comes back up. And one more time, inhaling, right foot down. Inhale and exhale as the right foot hoovers off the ground. How is the belly button? How is the breath? Engaging, pulling the belly button back towards the spine. And on the inhale, bringing the right foot up. And then on the exhale, left foot comes down. Woo, feeling that shake. Inhale and exhale. And then inhaling the right leg up towards the air. Beautiful. Okay. And now that the feet have been fully engaged, you might even just do a few little kicks here, kicking the back of the thighs, nice and loose and free through the ankles, pressing the hands into the floor, stabilizing the hips here, inhaling and exhaling. What's happening with the breath? Seeing if, as we had that experience of controlled or applied stress in the body, how quickly can we let that go with the exhale? And how quickly with the breath can we restore the newness and restore the stabilization of the socio, like the physical and the somatic experience of the body with the breath. Beautiful. And the emotional state, letting that go. Beautiful. So inhaling, this time we're going to bring the hands out across to either a wide T position, pressing both hands into the floor, and then inhaling the right knees over towards, both knees over as if you're squeezing into the block, and bringing the hips back to the center. Or how about we actually grab the book and put it back between the legs here, hamburger style, and exhaling the left hips over towards the left side. Squeezing, making sure that the hips don't come all the way onto or the knees don't come all the way onto the ground. Inhaling back to the center. Exhaling right. Inhaling back to center. Keeping the legs at a 45-degree angle here, inhaling and exhaling, left side. And you might notice as you inhale back up, the lower that you can move the legs down, you might actually begin to get your own adjustment in the lower part of your spine, the lumbar spine. As you inhale the knees back to center, squeezing them together, and exhaling, left side. Inhale back to center and exhale right side. Beautiful. One more time. Inhale to center. Exhale left side. Inhale back to center. Exhale right side. Beautiful. Inhaling up, bringing the feet all the way back down, keeping that book squished between the legs. And you want to really draw the arms up, rotating the shoulders up and down and back, tucking the shoulder blades down, squeezing the sides of the body with the elbow. And we're going to come up into just a bit of tiny bridge pose here. So inhale, pushing up with the hips, lifting the tailbone, feeling first the tailbone off of the ground. So thinking about first, okay, place the hips back on the ground and tucking the tailbone up between the legs as if you had a tail coming between your legs. So engaging from the bottom part of the coccyx, the very, very base of the spine, inhaling up. In, then into the belly button, then lifting up the back of the lower floating ribs off of the ground, then into the center of the chest. And just seeing if you can stay here by pressing into your elbows. You're going to start to feel the burn. So pressing the feet into the ground, pressing the knees together, inhaling and exhaling. So we're really learning to engage in a subtle way. So much of what a lot of us have been learned or taught in physical engagement through the body in like a Western sense is this like outward to inward. I'm more concerned about what I look like from the outside, right, than actually how it is I'm feeling or doing from the inside. So with these techniques, inhaling in, pressing up, engaging through the glutes, really engaging through the inner thighs. You know it's working. If you're beginning to shake, one more breath here, inhaling and exhaling. Really using the sense of the body from the inside out to awaken the awareness and expand the energetic capacity in the body. And exhale, rotating the middle of the back down, pressing the elbows into the ground. Slowly, the lower ribs come into the ground, the middle of the back, then very lastly, the tailbone presses into the ground and then releasing the tail as if you had an imaginary tail back onto the ground, and then releasing the thighs. Beautiful. Releasing the hands down. And just taking a moment, close your eyes here. See if you can identify the beating of your heart. Notice if you were gripping in your face, in the jaw. You can release and let that go. And we're gonna try it again one more time. So inhale, squeezing the side of the body with the elbows, engaging the lower belly, inhaling the tailbone up, middle back up, and squeezing the shoulder blades together, coming into your highest expression, pushing the back of the head into the ground here. Beautiful. Into this fantastic bridge pose. The pelvis bone is pushed up into the sky, engaging and stabilizing the core from the backside. So first we engage and work on stabilization of the core and the abdominal muscles from the front side of the body. And now we're working on it and stabilizing it from the backside. So thinking about the body as we inhale and exhale, getting back to that 3-count breath, thinking about the body as a 360 expansive unit. Like it is this tube that even though our eyes are on the front of our body, that we also have this complete engagement through the side, middle, and back, and then the front of the body. A very different experience as these humans that have our sensory organ, our visual sensory organ on the front side of the body, right? Okay, so exhaling, releasing, letting that go. We're letting the shoulders come down, the center of the spine, pressing the lower back into the floor, then the hips into the floor, then releasing both pelvic bones into the floor, then releasing the tailbone, releasing then the hands, and grabbing a hold of the book, then letting that go. And placing both feet down on the ground. Give yourself a few moments here to gently soak in, seeing how quickly can you release and scan the body. Noticing what's happening with the heart. Noticing what's happening with how quickly can you release your feet, ankles, legs, and thighs. Release your belly, thanking it for all the fantastic work it's done in the stabilization of your core today. Seeing how quickly you can release any tension in the sides of the ribs, in the back. Inviting the breath to gently massage the heart, the front and the back side of the heart. Noticing if you can release the fingertips, holding the body still in this moment. And releasing the head, neck, and jaw, releasing the eyes in their sockets. And coming into this experience of the breath moving through the body. This time drawing in that fantastic, new, fresh, cosmic energy into the top of your head. Drawing down into your heart, into your kidneys. Stabilizing the belly, feeling the hips, feet, and legs planted firmly on the ground. Beautiful. You might stay here in this pose and relax for a few minutes before you get your day going, giving some gratitudes, or you might gently roll over to your right side and press yourself up, coming into the seated position as we start the class, as we ended the class today, or end the class as we started the class, with coming back to this 3-part breath. So if it's comfortable for you, pacing the hands up in the Gyan Mudra, so the pointer finger and thumb together, the extension of the 3 other fingers out, palms facing up towards the sky, equal pounds of pressure in both the ring and the thumb finger, seeing if you can elongate through the back of the neck, and inhaling in through the top of the head, into the chest, into the lower belly, filling up and perhaps even holding the breath for a second here. And then on the exhale, releasing as the belly button comes back towards the spine. The air flows out of the kidneys, heart, and back up out of the nasal passages. And one more time, following that path of the breath as it comes in through the top of the head, in the nostrils, down the back of the throat, down behind the heart, down behind the kidneys, nice and tall through the back of the spine, extending through the neck as you're grounding into the base. And then on the exhalation, following the breath as it comes out of the body through the bottom of the spine, behind the kidneys, exhaling behind the heart, releasing anything that is not serving you, and coming back into gratitude for this present moment. Placing the hands in front of the heart and giving thanks for your willingness to show up and participate in your healing. One of the most powerful and brilliant things that you can do for yourself and for your community. So namaste, ashe, and go out there and have a beautiful day, you beautiful, beautiful being you. And with any requests, please feel free to join us again. There are live stream classes Tuesday, 8 a.m., Thursday, 5 p.m. If you like this, please feel free to like, subscribe, and share to someone you know who could benefit from this practice as much as you have today. Again, I'm Afia Yana. Thank you.